कपित जम्भू फलचार भक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारकम् नमामि विघ्नेश्वर पादपङ्कजम् ॐ वक्रतुण्डाय हुं श्री गणेशाय नमः। Prabhu Shri Ganesh, please remove difficulties from our path. We offer our prarthana to you so that you will be with us, guide us and protect us always. And now we turn our obeisance to Mataji. Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Trambike Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Shri Gauri Mata Bhyo Namaha. Divine Mother, you give us our hum sound that is continuing with us all this morning. May you be with us, inspire us, give us all auspiciousness in our home and our families. We pray to you, Mother Ji. May you always shower your blessings onto me. Nagendra Haraya Trilochanaya Bhasmangaragaya Maheshwaraya Nityaya Shuddhaya Digambaraya Tasmai Nakaraya Namah Shivaya. Har Nama Parvati Pataye Har 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 Mahadev. Any reason why? Any reason why we're hearing the hum? Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurur Sakshat Para Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Guru Maharaj Ki Jai. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanur Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. Om Klim Krishnaya Namaha. Om Sarvebhyo Devebhyo Namo Namaha. Prem Sri Shumapati Mahadev Ki Jai. Ganapati Swami.
Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh Deva. Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh Deva. Mata Janki Parvati Pita Mahadeva. Mata Janki Parvati Pita Mahadeva. Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh Deva. Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh Deva. Mata Janki Parvati Pita Mahadeva. Mata Janki Parvati Pita Mahadeva. एक दंत दयावंत चार भुजाधारी. एक दंत दयावंत चार भुजाधारी. माथे सिंदूर सोही मूसिकी सवारी. माथे सिंदूर सोही मूसिकी सवारी. अनधन को आंख देख को दिन को काया. अनधन को आंख देख को दिन को काया. बाजन को पुत्र देत निर्धन धन घुमाया। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा।
जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा।
माता जानकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा।
माता जानकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा।
पान चढ़े फूल चढ़े और चढ़े मेवा।
पान चढ़े फूल चढ़े और चढ़े मेवा।
लदवन को भोग लगे संत करे सेवा।
लदवन को भोग लगे संत करे सेवा।
रिद्धि सीधि सात सोहि कार्तिकेय भ्राता।
रिद्धि सीधि सात सोहि कार्तिकेय भ्राता।
दीन जानि शरण राखी सुफल की जय सेवा।
दीन जानि शरण राखी सुफल कीज सेवा।
जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा।
जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा।
माता जानकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा। माता जानकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा। माता जानकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा।
माता जानकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा।
श्री गणेश भगवान की जय. You know, sometimes people say, well, you know, we have Ganeshji Puja first, and then we do the Hanumanji Chalisa, and sometimes maybe we need to change it up. It is important for us to understand, as we have done before, that understanding what comes next, what comes first, Ganeshji, what comes next, Hanumanji, helps us to put some sort of organization and order into our lives. So we know now that we will be reciting the Hanumanji Chalisa, as we've discussed before, because he is the symbol of strength to give us the inspiration to go through this week with Bala Buddhi Vidya Dehu Mohi Harahu Kale Savikar.
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधार। बरनो रघुबर विमल जसु जो दायक फल चार। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार। जय 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 हनुमान। जय 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 हनुमान। जय 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 हनुमान। जय 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 हनुमान। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर। जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा। अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत धामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी। कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी। कंचन वरण विराज सुवेशा। कानन कुंडल कुंचित केशा। हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे। आधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन। तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर। राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया।
अस कही श्रीपति कंठ लगावे,
सनकादिक
ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद शारद सहित अहिसा,
यम कुबेर
दिक्पाल जहाते, कवि कोविद कहे
सखे
कहाते, तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीना,
राम मिलाए राजपद दीना, तुमरो
मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना,
युग सहस्र योजन
पर भानु लील्योताहि मधुर फल जानु।
जय 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 हनुमान,
जय 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 हनुमान, जय 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 हनुमान, जय 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 हनुमान।
वधूमुद्रिका
मेले मुख माही, जलधि लांघ गए अचरज नाही,
दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते,
सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हारे तेते,
राम दुआरे
तुम रखवारे,
ओतन आज्ञा
बिनु पैसारे, सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी शरणा,
तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना, आपन तेज
संहारो आपे, तीनों लोक हांकते कांपे,
भूत पिशाच निकट
जोर
नहीं
से।
आवे,
महावीर जब नाम सुनावे,
नासे रोग
हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर
हनुमत वीरा, संतत से
हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान
जो लावे। जय 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 हनुमान,
जय 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 हनुमान, जय 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 हनुमान, जय 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 हनुमान।
सब पर राम
तपस्वी राजा, दिन के काज सकल, और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे,
सोई अमित जीवन
वन फल पावे।
चारों युग
प्रताप तुम्हारा है, प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा,
साधु संत के तुम रखवारे,
असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे,
अष्ट सिद्धि नवनिधि के दाता,
असवर दीन जानकी माता, राम रसायन
तुम्हारे पासा,
सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा।
जय 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 हनुमान,
जय 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 हनुमान, जय 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 हनुमान, जय 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 हनुमान।
तुम्हारे भजन
राम को भावे, जन्म जन्म के
दुख विसरावे,
अंत काल रघुवरपुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई,
और देवता चित न धरई,
हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई, संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरै हनुमत बलबीरा।
जय जय जय
हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई,
जो चित हृदय बसहु सुरभु जय 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 हनुमान जय 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 हनुमान
जय 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 हनुमान जय 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 हनुमान जय जय जय
हनुमान जय 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 हनुमान जय 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 हनुमान जय 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 हनुमान जय 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 हनुमान जय 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 हनुमान
प्रेम से बोलो श्री पवन पुत्र हनुमान की For a moment, sit with your eyes closed, remembering his murti. Feel the energy surge through your body. See him smile. Oh, Hanumanji, please protect me. Please give me all of your love and shower me with strength. Prem se bolo Shri Pawan Putra Hanuman ki Jai. In preparation for Shri Krishna Janmashtami, as we begin moving forward and we're thinking of Krishna Ji, we want to focus today on the Madhurashtakam. Everything about Krishna Bhagwan is sweet, every aspect of him. And we join together. So as we do that, I ask you to focus on him. That will be your prarthana, that will be your meditation today. That in the same way, everything about you is sweet, Bhagwan. Please fill my life with sweetness as well. Do we have to have it up? Adhwaram madhuram vadanam madhuram nayanam madhuram hasitam madhuram hridayam madhuram gamanam madhuram madhuradhipate
Rakhilam madhuram
vachanam madhuram charitam madhuram
madhuram charitam madhuram
vasanam madhuram valitam madhuram vasanam
madhuram charitam madhuram
jalitam madhuram भ्रमितं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलम्. As he walks so beautifully, everything about him is sweet. Venur madhuro renur madhurah
Venur madhuro renur madhurah
Panir madhurah pado madhuro
Panir madhurah pado madhuro
Nrityam madhuram sakhyam madhuram madhuradhipate.
Rakhilam madhuram
Let him dance beautifully in your hearts, in your minds. Fill yourself with the love and presence of Bhagwan. Geetam madhuram pitam madhuram
Geetam madhuram Pitam madhuram
bhuktam madhuram suktam madhuram
Bhutam madhuram Sukam madhuram
rupam madhuram tilakam madhuram madhura
Adhipati Rakhilam madhuram
madhura
Adhipati Rakhilam madhuram
karanam madhuram taranam madhuram
Karanam madhuram
हरणं मधुरं स्मरणं मधुरम्
हरणं मधुरं स्मरणं मधुरं
वमितं मधुरं शमितं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं हो मधुराधिपतेरखिलं गुञ्जा मधुरा माला मधुरा
गुञ्जा मधुरा माला मधुरा
यमुना मधुरा वीची मधुरा
यमुना मधुरा वीची मधुरा
सलिलं मधुरं कमलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं
मधुरं
ओ मधुराधिपतेरखिलं
मधुरं
गोपी मधुरा लीला मधुरा
गोपी मधुरा लीला मधुरा
युक्तं मधुरं भूक्तं मधुरम्
युक्तं मधुरं सूक्तं मधुरं
श्रेष्ठं मधुरं शिष्टं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं
मधुरं
हो मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं गोपा मधुरा गावो मधुरा
गोपा मधुरा गावो मधुरा
युष्टिर्मधुरा सृष्टिर्मधुरा
युष्टिर्मधुरा श्रीश्रीर्मधुरा
गलितं मधुरं फलितं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं ओ मधुराधिपतेरखिलं ओ मधुराधिपतेरखिलं ओ मधुराधिपतेरखिलं
मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
इति श्रीमद्वल्लभचार्यकृतं मधुरष्टकं संपूर्णम् प्रेम से बोलो श्री गोविंद कृष्ण भगवान की जय. As we prepare now for the class for the children, I wish to remind each and every one of us today is a special day. We remember the anniversary of the Shri Krishna Mandir. 1952, 70 years. 70 years we've been doing puja on this spot in different ways. Shambhu, you join the class. Today, in this very special moment, on this special day, we will be having a discourse, a pravachan, but I want to start off with a video. To do this video, I would need to do it old school in this way. I would put it on my phone. I would need for you to have the camera brought forward and a mic put next to it. It's just 1 minute and 20 seconds. But it sets the tone for what I want to discuss today. This should pick up the sound as well. Can I just borrow? It is important, so that's why I want to do it. And you can press play. Sorry? You have to press play here. We ready? Oops, Jai Shri Ram, nothing's here. As they say, you snooze, you lose. Okay, focus again. Press play.
It is painful to have friends who have been such a help to me turn on me with such rancor. I may, in the eyes of men, not hold correct opinions or act according to their vision or convictions, but I do not take this current situation in a light manner, a fearful manner, or a vengeful manner. I do not want to be a winner by cheating. I will not play with laws I swore allegiance to, with any contrived desire towards deflection of my deep foundational desire to follow God's will as I believe He led my conscience to embrace. How else will I ever approach Him in the wilderness of life, knowing that I ask this guidance only to show myself a coward in defending the course He let me take. He led me to take.
Prem se bolo Shri Govind Krishna Bhagwan ki jai. I need to translate it for you. I heard this this week, going up to Port of Spain. I think it was 5:30 in the morning. And it comes from the Select Committee's hearings in the United States. And in that hearing, this particular person, his name is Russell Rusty Bauer. He's the Speaker of the House in Arizona. And he was asked to do something by the then president that he thought was illegal, but it helped his party, but he thought it to be illegal. So what did he do? I need to quote exactly what he has said and read it for you, because it's an important message for each one of us. And I want us to think about it. When you hear it, what does it mean to you? I will stop and focus on those aspects of it that I think are really important. But this is what he said. It is painful to have friends who have been such a help to me to turn on me with such rancor. What is he speaking about? He stood up for what he thought to be the right thing, but yet all of his Republican, this is not a political talk I'm talking this morning, I'm just giving the story. All of his Republican friends who supported him before now have criticized him in the most mean of ways, to the extent that people now storm his home because he stood up for what he thought was the truth. I want you to think about this next line. I may, in the eyes of men, not hold correct opinions or act according to their opinions or convictions. So I may not act according to what other people think, but I do not take this current situation in a light manner, a fearful manner, or a vengeful manner. I do not want to be a winner by cheating. I will not play with laws that I swore allegiance to, with any contrived desire towards deflection of my deep foundational desire to follow God's will. This is like a prayer. As I believe He led my conscience to embrace, and this is the part that moved me to tears twice, 3 times when I played this over and over. How else will I ever approach him? Approach whom? God. When I stand with God, before God, if I have cheated to win, how can I approach him? The love for God transcends every religion. Russell Rusty Bauer is a follower of the Mormon church. He was a minister for 2 years. Yet God knows no boundaries of religion. Religion has been put there by men and women to cut off people and divide people. But the love for God exudes from this man's words. How else can I approach him? How will I ever approach him if I have cheated to win? In the wilderness of life, every line is beautiful. How else will I ever approach him in the wilderness of life, knowing that I asked of his guidance only to show myself a coward in defending the course he led me to take? Do we understand what that means? So we start from the end. God has led me down a path. That is the path he chose for me. Am I to say now, Bhagwan, God, I am a coward for following that path that you led me to? How can I approach you to say anything otherwise? This gentleman was led down that path to stand up for what he believed. He believed that the Constitution was divinely ordained, and he could not break the law. And knowing that, anything less would have been shirking his responsibility, and he would have been a coward. How many of us can say that? That he would have been a coward. We would be cowards if we stray from the path that God has put there for us to walk on. God has made me who I am, to walk the path that I have to walk. I have told many of the students in the law school, I never wanted to be a lawyer. Much less, I never wanted to be a judge. That's what I was, and I am. That is the path God gave to me to walk. I can't be a coward now and shake from that. And that path for each and every one of the young people who are here and for the elders. God has provided a path for you. And to get the compass to walk that path, he has brought you here in the Mandir to get the compass, to get that GPS, to get the directions, to get the map. That is the Google that we talk about. When we think of ourselves and how we live, we have to consider, are we true to ourselves even in our lonely moments when we are by ourselves? I've said this many times, we are the truest when we are alone. Because then we don't put on any facade, any face, any show for anybody else. It is you and God alone, me and God alone. What is the face that we show to God? The unfortunate truth, though, is that even when we are alone, we sometimes fool ourselves. To say, I'm a good person, I don't lie, I don't cheat. But we cut in line. All kind of little things, we will talk about that. And when we do those things, ask yourself the question that Rusty Bauer himself asked. How will I face God if I live a life being a cheat in some way? It's a soul-wrenching question, which is why, as I say, it brought me to tears each time I listened to it on that morning. Before sunrise, that was my Brahma Muhurt Pravachan. Because it made me to realize, to think of my own self. Where do I cut corners? Where do I do things that are probably things that maybe I shouldn't do. In Trinidad, you know, people like to say, and I've said it before, they say, God don't sleep. But that sometimes always applies to other people. God don't sleep. You did something wrong. God don't sleep, you know. Does it turn to myself? I want to share, when I thought about this, and I thought about a katha, which I just want to share with you for a moment. It comes from the Ramayana. It is an absolutely beautiful katha because it tells us how important it is for us, no matter who we are, to be truthful. It comes from Balkand. Sati Mata had doubts. Shivji Bhagwan was very happy. He had seen Sri Ram and he was very happy, and she is thinking, why is he happy about that? He is the Lord of the universe. Shankar Bhagwan is the Lord of the universe. Why is he happy about Sri Ram? Why is he praying to him? Shankar Bhagwan then tells us in his beautiful chant, Muni Dhira Jogi Siddhi Santata Vimala Mani Jehi Dhyavahi Kahi Neti Nigama Puran Agama Jasu Kirati Gavahi सोई राम व्यापक ब्रह्म भुवन निकायपति मायाधनी अवतरेयो अपने भगत हित निज तंत्र नित रघुकुल मणि श्री राम जय राम. Shankar Bhagwan tells Sati Mata the secret and the truth of who God is as represented in Sri Ram. It is symbolic of what we ourselves learn on a daily basis when we listen to our bhajans or Ramayans, when we come here on a Sunday. In the same way Shankar Bhagwan is saying this to her, in the same way you have heard these words before. He who has embodied himself as a jewel of the Raghu's race for the sake of his devotees is no other than the supreme eternal being, all-pervading, ever-free, the ruler of the worlds, the Lord of Maya, whom illumined sages, yogis and siddhas constantly meditate upon with their sinless mind, and whose glory is sung by the Vedas and the Puran as Neti, not this. And he tells her this, but she still has doubts. It's like us. We hear all these things. We hear Satyam, Saucham, Dayadanam. Yet we have doubts. How can I be truthful now? I have to cut my corner. Daya, I can't give right now. Maybe I shouldn't. I don't think that person is deserving of my $5 or $1 or $20. Because he or she is going to sit down and drink or whatever it is, smoke something with it. We shirk those pillars by introducing judgments which we don't have rights to do. And so she has doubts just as we have doubts. And what does she do? She then decides, I am going to cheat. I am going to find out myself. I'm going to disguise myself. And she disguises herself as Sita Mata. And she goes to Sri Ram and Lakshman Bhaiya. They were walking around looking for Sita Mata. This was after she was abducted. And she comes up to him. And Lakshman gets confused because here's Sita Mata coming. And Sri Ram's response when he sees her, Jori pani Prabhu kinha pranamu Pita samet linha nijanamu Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram कहयो बहुरी कहाँ वृष केतु विपिन अकेली फिरहु के ही हेतु राम सिया राम जय जय राम हो. She thought she could fool God. And his hands when he saw her, he put his hands together and he said, Mother, where is the Father of the universe? Even though disguised as Sita, Mataji, he recognized who she truly was. God really does not sleep. And so he put his hands together and she felt, how did she feel? She felt ashamed. Remember the words of Rusty Bauer. How can I approach him if I have cheated? That is the shame Sati Mata felt. How could she have doubted him to go before him in disguise? My heart races when you think of the shame that she would have felt, but the intensity of feeling that one has to have to love God so much, to know, I cannot do that. I cannot approach God as a liar, as a cheat. I cannot do that, even if it is for the betterment of my party. Even if it is for the betterment of my own self, because I'm going to reach first in the line rather than last in the line. Whether it is because I'm going to reach first in the race and I'm running and that's what I need to do and I have to win the race, so I'll cut the corner. All of these things, cheat, get the property, cheat, get the cheat codes in the games. There's that. They tell you it's a cheat code in a game. So we use the cheat codes to cheat the game. And we think it's good. Do we understand what happens in society? We are taught that towing that party line, he was taught, towing that party line when it was wrong and illegal is something he cannot do to approach God, because he has to approach God. Yet society says it's okay, go and you will download all the cheat codes. Go and you will download all the movies. Go, you'll download all the music. Go, all these things, you can do those things. And it's okay, society says it's okay. Go to Pirate Bay, download it, that's fine. But what is it? Can you approach God afterwards? You can, if you have approached God like Sati Mata in this instance, where you doubt God. If you doubt God, sure, you can do all those things. And when you go, you and God alone, you can lie as much as you want. And you know what is important about this katha, which I didn't get to tell you, the whole details of it, is such a beautiful thing. When she walked and she disguised herself, you know what Shankar Bhagwan did? He smiled, he said, no matter what, that is nature. And it is said because of that action that caused Sati Mata, that whole series of events that followed, because she could no longer be in that exalted position because she had cheated. So she had to self-immolate at her father's yajna and come back now as Parvati to do it again. Chapter 6 of the Bhagavad Gita. Think about the Ramayana. Think about how many other instances. Tell me, everybody here has listened to Ramayana. Tell me of one instance when you had an instance such as this where someone tried to deceive God or tried to deceive another. Anybody? One. Hanumanji. He tried to spy on God to see who he really was. He didn't know who he was. And Sri Ram once again revealed his true identity by recognizing who he was. And look at immediately, he could not do it. He had to drop his, because when he realized this is God, this is my Lord, he could no longer keep up that disguise. Any other examples? Marich, the golden deer. Ravan, disguising as a sadhu. Kalanemi, all of them, many. So that you see that deception is not something that is new. Deception is something that continues throughout life for many, many people. So we now have to look at ourselves. How are we cheating? How are we living? If we are cheating in small ways, I'll give you an example. This week I tried to get something from a government document, from a government department. I was told I cannot get anything after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I work for the government too. How is that not cheating? For someone who goes to work and know they're supposed to work at least until 4 o'clock. And in my case, I could pick up a phone and call. But somebody who leave Cedros or Rio Claro to travel all the way to Port of Spain to get something, don't have the money, but they just have to go to get this one thing, and it's 2 o'clock, everybody gone home because it's raining. How is that acceptable? How can those persons, it is obviously not a person who's coming to Mandir like here. Because you who come to Mandir like here know what is the value of what you do. You know of the story of Hanumanji, who when God sent him on a mission, that is his mission. He can't stop on Menaka to take a rest. He can't stop for Sursa. You remember Sursa, son? And he opened wider. Remember that story? He can't do those things because he is on a mission from God. We are all on missions from God. We are all here with a destiny. And for us to fulfill our destiny, we have to fulfill it truthfully. Otherwise, we are just cheating the system in everything. So every aspect, I'm saying to myself too, because that Wednesday was an aha moment for myself. I have looked at myself. What are the things that I myself may want to cut corners in? My sankalp, not doing it again. You could do it too. Every one of us can do it too. Take one thing for this week and say, I'm not, what is that thing that may be a cheating or something kind of blurring the edges? Let me stop that. So that just as Rusty Bauer says, I do not want to be a winner by cheating, how will I ever approach God? We can say that to ourselves, and we can mean that to ourselves. We don't have to impress anybody else, because by us doing what we have to do truthfully, we become the shining examples of Sanatan Dharma that we are meant to be. So when we say Sarvesham Mangalam Bhuya Sarve Santu Niramaya, and we pray for everybody around us and all of society, it is coming from a pure heart and a good thought. That is my message today. I am not pushing politics as to who is right and wrong. I'm dealing with someone's thoughts who felt inspired to say, I cannot do wrong because I cannot face God after that. Can we do that? Think about it. Prem se bolo Shumapati Mahadeva ki jai. Before I pass on to that, to Prashant ji to take us in a bhajan. When I thought about this yesterday, what I was going to say today, this bhajan came to me immediately. मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे. Bhagwan, I'm coming to you truthfully now, with all of my sins and difficulties and problems, my dirty shawl, merely chadar, the chadar, that blanket which is dirty. द्वार तुम्हारे आऊं, I've come to your door. हे पावन परमेश्वर मेरे. पावन, that purifying, pure Bhagwan. मन ही मन शर्माऊं. I'm ashamed of my mind and my thoughts, and I bring them to you. मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे द्वार तुम्हारे आऊं. हे पावन परमेश्वर मेरे, मन ही मन शर्माऊं. मैली चादर
ओढ़ के कैसे.
तूने मुझको जग में भेजा, निर्मल देकर काया. You gave me this beautiful body, pure. And what did I do? आकर इस संसार मैंने इसको दाग लगाया. I dirtied it. जन्म जन्म की मैली चादर, lifetime after lifetime I keep dirtying it. कैसे दाग छुड़ाऊं? How can I clean it? मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे द्वार तुम्हारे आऊं. मैली चादर ओढ़ के इन पैरों से चल कर तेरे मंदिर कभी न आया. Not like you, but Bhagwan has given us legs to walk to mandirs, to do puja, but many people don't use it for that. इन पैरों से चल कर तेरे मंदिर कभी न आया. जहाँ जहाँ हो पूजा तेरी, where puja is being done wherever, कभी ना शीस झुकाया. I don't find the time to even put my head down to bow. हे हरि हर में हार के आया, अब क्या हार चढ़ाऊं. Together. मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे द्वार तुम्हारे आऊं. हे पावन परमेश्वर मेरे, हे पावन परमेश्वर मेरे, मन ही मन शर्माऊं. मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे, मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे, मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे. प्रेम से बोलो श्री गोविंद कृष्ण भगवान की Jai. I thought about that bhajan. I just felt like I had to sing it because it epitomized everything that I was saying. Prashant ji. Now, before he begins, we can start doing our arti. Those of us who have come prepared, come before us, Bhagwan, put on your gloves, maintain the COVID regulations still, and come before Bhagwan and say, I have a dirty shawl. I want to clean myself. Pavan Parameshwar, I'm offering everything to you. Please come up and do your arti.
Share
Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram bhaj man, Ram Ram, Shri Ram bhaj man, Ram Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram bhaj man,
दया करो शिव गंगाधारी
दया करो शिव गंगाधारी
दया करो शिव गंगाधारी
दया करो शिव गंगाधारी
कृपा करो शिव हे त्रिपुरारी
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 दया करो शिव गंगाधारी
दया करो शिव गंगाधारी
नाम मधुर तव मंगलकारी
नाम मधुर तव मंगलकारी
नाम मधुर तव मंगलकारी
नाम मधुर तव मंगलकारी
अलख निरंजन त्रिशूलधारी
अलख निरंजन त्रिशूलधारी
अलख निरंजन त्रिशूलधारी
अलख निरंजन त्रिशूलधारी
दया करो कृपा करो रक्षा करो भोला बंतारी
दया करो कृपा करो रक्षा करो भोला भंडारी
दया करो शिव गंगाधारी
दया करो शिव गंगाधारी
दया करो शिव गंगाधारी
दया करो शिव गंगाधारी
कृपा करो शिव हे त्रिपुरारी
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 दया करो शिव गंगाधारी
दया करो शिव गंगाधारी
नाम मधुर तव मंगलकारी
नाम मधुर तव मंगलकारी
नाम मधुर तव नाम मधुर तव नाम मधुर तव मंगलकारी
नाम मधुर तव मंगलकारी
अलख निरंजन त्रिशूलधारी
अलख निरंजन त्रिशूलधारी
अलख निरंजन त्रिशूलधारी
अलख निरंजन त्रिशूलधारी
दया करो कृपा करो रक्षा करो भोला बंतारी
दया करो कृपा करो रक्षा करो भोला भंडारी
दया करो शिव गंगाधारी
दया करो शिव गंगाधारी
दया करो शिव गंगाधारी
दया करो शिव गंगाधारी
कृपा करो शिव हे त्रिपुरारी
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 दया करो शिव गंगाधारी
दया करो शिव गंगाधारी
दया करो शिव गंगाधारी
दया करो शिव गंगाधारी
We now have our announcements by OPRO, Mr. Babulal. So if you can be given one of the mics.
Sitaram, dear devotees. On behalf of the Management Committee of our Mandir, we'd like to extend a very warm and cordial welcome to all of you this morning to our Sunday morning service. It's very special that you all could be here. We're looking at the weather outside and you are the chosen ones. Any devotees who are here for the first time, a special welcome to you, and we always look forward to seeing you at our Mandir. Regular announcements, well, we have yoga as usual tomorrow evening from 5:30. We have a wonderful class going on, so please join with us for those who have the time, and it's conducted by our hardworking chairman. So we look forward to seeing you all tomorrow evening. For those celebrating birthdays, I think Vineet, is it today?
Yes.
Okay, happy birthday to Vineet, and give him a round of applause. Such a wonderful young man. All right. So we'll sing the birthday song for you in a while, all right? And on these announcements, we always ask for, your kind donations, because those are the ones that keep our Mandir growing. We have a few of you all today, so a little more will help us a long way in maintaining the Mandir. So you can see us at the back after service. And we'd like to thank our shooters this morning. They are celebrating something, and we want to wish them all the best. And for any devotee who wants to do puja on a Sunday morning, you're always welcome. You can see us at the back, whether it's the anniversary or anything. You all can see us, and we'll make the arrangements for you all. So once again, we'd like to thank Pandit Devendra for that wonderful discourse. It touched our hearts, listening to that, and it's really, something to think about. So we leave here in the Mandir today with something that where we could practice, as Pandit tell us. Let us see what we could remove from ourselves, that what we are not doing rightly. All right, so we want to wish you a safe journey home. Be safe, and remember COVID is still in effect, so observe all the protocols, and we want to join you for Arati. Thank you.
Om Jai Jagadish Hari Swami Jai Jagadish Hari Bhakt Jano ki sankat Das Jano ki sankat Shan mein dur kare Om Jai Jagadish Hari Jo dhyavi phal pavi dukh bin se man ka Swami dukh bin se man ka Sukh sampati ghar aavi
As we clasp our hands, close our eyes and bow heads in prayer. As we surrender ourselves completely to Bhagwan. O Prabhu, you are omniscient, you are omnipresent, you are all merciful. As your children, we've come before you to surrender ourselves, to seek your blessing and to seek your guidance, not only for ourselves, but for all of humanity. This morning, let us be reminded of that moral compass that you guide us towards, of those things that we should do and those things that we should avoid. Let us look to you when in times of doubt, so that we can feel confident that in the decisions that we made, that we will be proud to be before you, that we will not perform those actions, those acts of deception that will indeed lead us to destruction. We pray for all persons who are misguided. We pray for all persons who in some way are facing some difficulty, some ailment, those who have lost a loved one. Provide them with the strength and the courage and that inspiration required to continue on. O Prabhu, you are mother, you are father, you are family, you are friend, you are knowledge, you are wealth, you are everything to us. Let us now join together in one voice in closing prayer. Hari Om Tvameva Mata Shapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhu Jaseka Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Hari Om प्रेम से बोले श्री गणेश भगवान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, आज शक्ति जगदम्बा देवी मैया की जय, श्री पवनपुत्र हनुमान की जय, प्रेम से बोले श्री सच्चे सनातन धर्म की जय. To introduce around you, sab koi Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram. So we wish Vinita happy birthday. We wish Phyllis, who sat this morning, a very happy birthday belatedly. She celebrated earlier this month. I want to wish Manisha happy birthday. She will celebrate on Saturday. And I also want to wish our beloved Krishna Mandir happy birthday. As Panditji said, this month we celebrate 70 years. And this particular building, we celebrate 35 years. We normally would have used the 26th of the month to celebrate, and we do so today. Sitaram, everyone, remember there's a yellow alert out, adverse weather. Please be careful on the roads, and wherever you're going, be safe until we see you all next week. Jai Sitaram all.
बार बार दिल ये आए, बार बार दिल ये गाए, बार बार दिल ये आए, बार बार दिल ये गाए, तुझे हजारों साल मेरी है आरज़ू. Happy birthday to you, 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 happy birthday.